Good morning. So I'm going to redo the video that I made yesterday for the Snapchat filter for Crazy Hair Day. Partly because I don't think I shut down my software right and it's still processing like the next day. So it's just not going to work and it didn't take terribly long to do it. So I'm just going to do it again and then I'll just remember what I did wrong today, whenever we're doing today's session on Superhero Day. So let's go ahead and get started about Snapchat and Lens Studio. Then close that. Okay, so Spirit Week. This is Spirit Week at Hocking College, and I just wanted to do these sessions that we have this week, because everything's virtual this year. That's kind of like the theme of 2020, like it or not. So yesterday was Crazy Hair Day, which is the video we're getting ready to do. Tuesday, which is today, is Superhero Day. Tomorrow is Pajama Day. Thursday is Dress for Success Day. And Friday is Blue and Gold Day. So what do you need to create a Snapchat filter? You need a computer. Unfortunately, this will not work on Chromebooks. The Lens Studio is a software that we use to create filters, and you have to download it. And to the best of my knowledge, this is not something that you can download on a Chromebook. So PC or Mac will do, but it does have to be a computer where you can download stuff. Lens Studio, download it onto your computer. There's the URL for that. There we go. Okay, this is the official thing to create filters on for Snapchat. So you would click download. And it gives you the requirements. Let's see. And then you click, you read the policy, put your email for your Snapchat account. So you do need a Snapchat account. And then you would download for a Mac or a PC. So now this, it doesn't take terribly long, but you do need good internet bandwidth. When I first tried to download it, I did it at home and I don't have good internet bandwidth. And it was said it was going to take hours and then eventually just time out. Then I went into the library in town that does have good internet and it was done within a few seconds. Here on campus, it usually takes a few minutes. So you do need good internet bandwidth to download this. But since it is being downloaded onto your computer, you can actually work with it offline. You can't publish it until you get internet connection, but you can do some things offline. So that's kind of nice about it. Let's see. And like I said earlier, you need a Snapchat account. So here are some of the frequently asked questions that I imagine might be asked. So how much does it cost to download Lens Studio? There's no charge. It's completely free, but like I said, you need to get internet. Does creating custom Snapchat filters require knowledge of coding? Some filters are more code intensive than others, but for this week, we'll be focusing on the templates, which is using a lot of the visual editing, visual editor, so no coding is required. But having said that, it's a good way to kind of introduce some concepts that are part of development, like event listeners and things of that nature. Since I'm not very creative with ideas, this is something I can do. I'm not creative either. I usually start with a template and then I just start, making edits here and there and create something. Let's see. Will I be able to publish my filter and share with friends? Yes, that's the fun of this. You can publish it and you can share it with people. So after you go through the process of downloading, let's see. Oh, and this right here, this information, this document is actually in a Google Share Drive, which is on the calendar invite, Hocking College Spirit Week Snapchat filters. So if you have the link to the calendar invites, it's in there, and I'll be sharing this in other platforms as well. Okay. So once you download it, Lens Studio, it looks something like this. This is Lens Studio 3.1, version 3.1, which is the most current version. And we'll go over like the layouts and the things as part of the layout. I think it can be easy to be overwhelmed when something you're not familiar with. So we'll kind of ease into that. But first things first, we need to go ahead and log into your lens with Snapchat. Oops. Okay, now I got internet. Okay, just asking to connect to Lens Studio with your Snapchat account. Okay. And close that out. We'll talk about that screen later on. So you can see that there's a lot of different templates. And like I was saying earlier, you don't need to be creative to create stuff. You can start with a template. And there's a lot of templates that are available out there. Go ahead and click all templates. No, I've not used them all. So I'm not familiar with all of them. And they all have varying levels of complexity. Some are mildly complex and some are more so. What's really fun about this is that there's a way to start incorporating concepts of machine learning, which is not something I've dived into, but it is in there. Okay, so the template that we're going to use is under my recently used templates, but it's somewhere down in here, which is called hair color. So all these templates have a button that says learn more, or a link that says learn more. And this is fairly low complexity, which is good. And it allows you to create a lens that colors the user's hair. You can choose to color the hair with 1 or 2 colors and customize it. So that's what we're going to do. These links, these all have a video and guide, which will take you to a tutorial, which are really well done. So I recommend, getting started on that if you're looking at other templates and want to play with. Click Start Project. Give it a minute or so. Okay. So this is the default layout, which we're going to stick with. You can customize the layout under window and panels, but we're going to stick with this. And this is something you'll gain increased comfort with and more familiarity. So the layout under the default is on the left-hand side, you see objects. And depending on what template you use, there'll be stuff that's already pre-populated based off the template. And it gives you some hints and on what to add it and what not to add it. Towards the bottom, you'll see resources. And we'll be adding a resource in here. Basically, it's assets. If you have images that you want to use, that's where you can upload it. And on the inspector, on this right here, this will change depending on what's clicked over here under objects. I'm sorry, I can't talk this morning. So this is in relation to whatever is clicked over here under objects. And then you can see the preview. So I don't know if the preview will work for actually turning on my camera. Oh, it does. Okay, good. It didn't work yesterday. But anyway, so you can see my hair is not naturally this color right now. Anyways. And you can see how it applies the green, and there's probably a blue somewhere of the secondary color. And you can, if you don't want to look at yourself, you can just click on the preview, the picture that they have here. You can change that person here if you want. On the bottom, you can change what device you want to see the preview on, just so you can give you a better idea. I'm going to stick with iPhone X. So this grid area is where you can see some of the things that we'll be doing. So if I click on View 2D Scene, you'll see face, view 3D Scene, you'll see a 3D grid area. I am on a laptop, but the way you move things around is using your mouse or your trackpad. Okay. And on the top, you'll see like a little hand, little panning mode, where you can move things around. Let's see, what does that do? Selection tool. We don't have anything to select yet. This will move tool. If we had anything to move, the only thing on there is the cameras. I don't want to mess with the cameras. Rotate. Shoot. No. But you'll see that there's different things that you can do with this if you want to move some stuff. We're going to scale, frame, and the unify tool. So let's just kind of, go ahead and get started. This is something that will come, you'll understand more of the details of what it does with practice. Okay, so for the hair color where it says edit me, we have a script. This is already by default. We're just going to leave a lot of this default. Now the base color, because this is Hocking College Spirit Week, I do want it to be Hocking College colors. Now I already have some custom colors that are already pre-populated in here. These are the Hocking College colors. If you have a certain color for your school, you can, if you grab that hex code and you can put it in here. And then you can add to your custom colors as I did. Or you can just pick a basic color. But there's however you want to go about it, you can choose whatever color. So I'm going to go with the blue and click OK. And I'm going to go ahead and check my secondary color and hit green because I really don't like that orange. So now we got our two colors that we want to utilize, and we can choose we want it to be the full head, the ends, or the roots. I want it to be full head, so you can see the changes that's being applied. You can check off a second color if you don't want a second color, but I do. Oops. And then you can do the gradient mode. Do you want it to be split, which is what I did yesterday? I'm going to keep doing that. Or you can be ombre. Okay, I'm going to do it with the split again. And there's some advanced features, but we're not going to get into that. And that's it on that. So let's go ahead and look in the preview of what it looks like on me right now. And you can see one side's green and this side is blue. Okay. And split. And this is actually, my hair. Okay. So it's augmented reality. It's overlaying on top of whatever's actually there. Okay. So let's go ahead and put it back on that. And we're going to add another component just because I want to. This is just, the things that you want to do just to make it different, just to have just be different. You don't necessarily have a reason, just other than because I want to. So we're going to click on resources and click on that plus symbol. We're going to click from file. And I am going to click on the file that I have in here. This is also in that Google Drive, this image file if you want to use it, or you can use your school's, whatever. Click open. So if you click on that, you'll see that the information on that, whatever you uploaded, is here. You can see a preview, the sizes and the resolution, and so on and so forth. And what we're going to do is we're going to click objects. And so everything that we've done so far is just part of the template. So you can take a template and then you can customize it, add some different components to it. We're going to click that plus symbol and we are going to select post effects, color correction. Click on 2D scene. There we go. Okay, so all this does is it puts some sort of color. It's like a filter. Okay, you guys are all familiar with filters, probably with Instagram and everything else that's out there. or Snapchat, but just kind of puts a different overlay on it with the filter. So this Hocking, the mascot that I used here, I'm going to make that as part of the filter. And what that does, it just grabs the colors and some of the textures, I think, but more like the colors. And it's just weird, but weird's cool sometimes. So I'm going to drag this over here under beauty, where it says beauty right now. And then it uses that image as like the template of what colors to capture. It's just weird, and weird is cool sometimes. So I'm going to leave everything else as is. Now, what I want, but now you can't see the hair, right? Let's go ahead and go back into preview. But you can't see the hair, right? So let's change that. We want to be able to see the hair. So we're going to click under objects, and then we are going to select helper scripts and behavior. Okay. So this is where like a concept event listeners can start coming into play. So we have behavior. Oops, I didn't want to, okay. We have behavior. And right now this stuff is default is whenever it's initialized, which is fine. And we can do a trigger. We can do multiple types of triggers, but I'm going to leave it on touch event, and on, you can do different kind of touch events. I'm going to leave it on tap. I'm going to leave that alone. And we're going to allow always. You could choose once or after interval, but I'm going to leave it on always. The response type. Okay, so there's a variety of different ones you can choose from. I'm not familiar with them all. I tend to, once I start figuring things out, I just play with one particular component for a while, and then until I get bored, and then I start venturing into other stuff. And that's my method, and I enjoy it, so that's what I do. So we're going to, on this one right here, for what we're going to do, get rid of that. What we're going to do is set enabled. And what we're going to enable is, what we're looking for is a touch event. When it's going to tap, we are going to enable the target, which is this color correction. And it's already enabled, so that doesn't really do anything, but let's toggle it. So toggle is like turn it off and turn it on every time you tap it. So let's go ahead and see if this works. So it's enabled, and I saw the lens reset earlier. Okay, and then when I tap it again, so you can see it's toggling off and on. Let's do it in preview. Okay, it's on, or yeah, it's on. And when I turn it off, okay, you can see the color. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what is the filter that we created yesterday for Crazy Hair Day. This is a crazy hair. So let's go ahead and preview this. So you need to have Snapchat on your phone. It's one thing to see it here on the screen, but it's another thing just to, see it on your device. Go ahead and see if I can put this back up. Okay, I'm still recording. I was trying to put my video back up, but I don't think it's going to work. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back into Lens Studio. So what happens is, let's see. Okay, what happens is, you can just use this. You get a notification saying that your lens is ready to preview. And this is, I'm going to flip it so it's on the reverse camera. Oh, now I'm going to flip it so it's on the reverse camera. Okay, so you can see me, right? And then when you click on it, you can see how it's, the hair. and then tap it and tap, 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 tap. Okay. So it's what we want it to be. So now we're going to publish it. Well, first let's go ahead and do the project info. So do under the top left-hand corner, you'll see project info. And we're going to do just, you're only limited on the number of characters. So we're going to do spirit, week, hair. You have only so much characters that you can put in there. The size is 0.18 megabytes, which is fine. We're going to enable for the front and the rear camera. You can choose one or the other if you want. I'm not familiar with spectacles, so I don't get into that. On the hint, you can put, if you have something that they need to do so they can see a filter in action. For example, for us, it was hitting the tab. Then you can click on tap. Now, the thing that I didn't think about yesterday, which is kind of part of user experience, which is another way that you can introduce some concepts. You can't really see the tap that well because it's such a dark theme. So, oops, live and learn. Just something to think about next time. So here you can customize this little icon, this little, whatchamacallit, and I'm just going to select the Hocking College mascot and you click apply and apply. And now all you need to do is publish the lens. So this little box will pop up. Yours probably won't say business or community lens. I have a business account, so that's why that pops up. But for this, we're just using community lens. And then you can add some tags in it just to increase the findability of your filter. Click edit. There we go. Let's see, they don't take spaces. I think you can only use letters and numbers. Let's see. So I want to put Hocking, Hocking College, enter, spirit, week, crazy, hair. Okay, you can do whatever you want. The scan triggers, if you can do just whatever it's looking for. For me, it's a person. For this one, it's a person. Then click done. And you can do a lens preview if you want. I usually don't mess with it because you have to take a preview of it and then you have to upload it, and I just don't mess with it. So if it's a brand new one, which we're going to say this one is, you would hit submit. If you're updating a filter you already did, that you already created, you can hit update existing and then select which one. But for this, we're just going to hit submit. Okay. So this is the one that I did yesterday. It's the very exact same name. Let's see. Go ahead and click on that. And what's nice about this, you can see your stats. It's trying to download still. So you can see the one that I made yesterday. I shared it with some people. But you'll see the shares and the plays and the views. And here's some of the ones that I've done in the past. And we'll go over more on this particular, your lenses as you start making them later on in the week. Just kind of focus on little bits at a time. So right now it's under in review. And providing nothing happens, because it's pretty much the exact same of this one, it'll eventually be live. And what happens after it goes live, you'll get an email notification on whatever email account is tied into your Snapchat account and say, hey, your filter is live. Okay, it's already live. And then, you can share it. It will give you like this little whatever QR code thing so that you can, share it with others, or there's a link that you can just share it with others. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much, that's how to make a filter on this using this particular template. And we had a little bit of add-ons in it. So as I mentioned in the beginning, if you don't have to be super creative, you can start with a template and then, do your own, little thing. So, So I apologize that this didn't go out yesterday. It was just like the video that I originally did, it did not download or still processing the next day. That's not typical. So I'm just going to say it's messing up and make another one, which is fine. Because these are fun. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you'll stay around and enjoy us for the rest of the week as we make some filters for Spirit Week. Go ahead and hit finish. See you guys.